To discuss this further, Sami Al-Arian, who is the Director of the Centre for Islam and Global Affairs at Istanbul Sabahattin Zaim University, joins me now. Sami, thank you so much for being with us here on TRT World. A very delicate situation King Abdullah had to navigate there with Donald Trump. Do you think the King went away from that thinking Donald Trump is serious about this?
I mean, it's not clear, obviously, but Trump is using the rhetoric of an imperialist, of a colonialist, racist and supremacist, someone who doesn't care about international law. It is very clear that what he's calling for is a violation not only of the international humanitarian law, but it's also a crime against humanity. It's a war crime to take wholesale people from one place and displace them and said they're not even going to return. So whatever he's saying, obviously, could be taken seriously because of his position, but it is not taken seriously, certainly, by other people around the world. Certainly, the Palestinians are not going anywhere. He will hold Gaza, as he claims, in the same way that the United States held Vietnam and Afghanistan.
And Sami, the King alluded to the plan by Egypt to rebuild Gaza. We don't know too much detail about that just yet. But in your view, is that something that Donald Trump will accept?
I'm not sure what he said about Egypt. He's asking for Egypt and Jordan to take about 2 million Palestinians. That's not going to happen. That's going to destabilize the region. It's going to destabilize both Egypt, the Sinai, as well as Jordan. And none of the Arab countries have accepted these kind of proposals. But more importantly, the Palestinians are not going to accept it, are not going anywhere. Palestinians have a history where they are being displaced and dispossessed. That happened in 1948. Hundreds of thousands of people were taken away from their homes by force. Israel tried it for 15 months. They tried to bomb Gaza, a mere 365 kilometers square, using at least 50,000 tons of weapons provided and supplied by the United States, and they didn't go anywhere. How in the world will Donald Trump try to get the Palestinians out? Is he going to send the Marines? Is he going to send the U.S. Army? Is he going to what, nuke them? What is he going to do? By simply saying so, it just shows either how ignorant he is about not only the war in Gaza, but also the history of the Palestinian cause, as well as perhaps he's trying to outpace Netanyahu because of his donors, of the Zionist donors who gave him hundreds of millions of dollars during his campaign. And he promised them that somehow he's going to get the Palestinians to leave not only Gaza, but also the West Bank.
And Sami, we saw Donald Trump there seem to back away from the threats that he made to withhold aid from Egypt and Jordan if they don't accept Palestinians. Do you think that was just because the King was sitting next to him, or can we expect Trump to continue with those threats to withhold aid if those two countries don't do as he wants?
Donald Trump has a history of using extortionist policies in order to get his way, and usually he does it. He just tries to make these threats and then walk away from it. He did that to Canada, to Panama, to Colombia, to Denmark, to other places around the world. He's trying to use it also against Arabs, Jordan and Egypt. The problem here is that the United States gets much, much more than what it's providing. The United States gets hundreds of billions of dollars, actually, from rich Arab states and give few billions to poor Arab states in order to get its policies adopted by both the rich and the poor. After a while, people are getting tired of these kind of threats. He's trying to use sticks in order to get his way with the poor Arab states such as Jordan and Egypt. The United States gets at least $5 billion worth of privileges just passing through the Suez Canal, according to the chief of staff of the U.S. military. And it only gives Egypt about 1.7, 1.8 billion. And that's every year for the past 40 years. So even if he withholds whatever he's providing, that's going to destabilize the regime in Egypt, and that's not going to be in the strategic interest of the United States. So I don't think he's serious about that. He's just using it, hoping that somehow they're going to get themselves to adhere to what he is demanding from them.
Sami Al-Arian, Director of the Centre for Islam and Global Affairs at Istanbul Sabahattin Zaim University. Thank you so much for your time.